Morning all, I'm Tim and this is How to Murder Feet and stuff. So here I am at Pitsea car park and railway station. A lot of replacement bus stuff going on today, and it looks like the line I used last week is actually down for being repaired, so that was lucky. Yes, came from that away last time. It is 10:30 on Sunday the 3rd of September. Gosh, doesn't the year roll on? Month 9 out of 12 already. And I think I can see there's a sign hiding behind that sign. It points that way. So I'm going to go up there. So today it's basically Canvey Island. We need to do a little bit of following the railway to get there. And then we're going to circumnavigate the entire of Canvey Island. So that'll be fun. Which, unlike Steppy Island, has got a single continuous, well-marked navigational footpath that I can use. So that's good. So my islands are optional rule is actually superseded by the fact that the England coast path is clearly marked as circumnavigating Canvey Island today, so that'd be good. Should see some proper beachfront stuff, amusement parks, ice creams, promenades and things. Also probably more than our usual fair share of refineries too, so mixed bag today. There we go, one of them's me. Yeah, look, Acorn, Benfleet Station, 3 miles. So I've actually parked at Benfleet Station, which is 3 miles away, which ordinarily would make for a very short day. But once I get there, I then have to go and navigate the island as well. So actually looking at about 16 miles, I think, today. So let's get going. Let's get on with it. Blimey. To get out here. Sort of went off through a housing estate and there's basically a little gap in the hedge that then runs along the railway. All good. So I've been to Pitsea. We're also still on the Thames, which to my mind explains coast as well. All very the credit for existing footpaths I find, but a bit less eager to forge its own destiny. So yes, basically I literally just got off a train from Benfleet Station to Pitsea, and now I'm going to literally walk back along the train line to Pitsea Station, where I have parked the car, and then from Benfleet Station we're off to cross the bridge onto Canvey and do the lap of Canvey Island. So yeah, there's a slight touch of ability to the that's okay. Riding on a train doesn't count as walking the foot. Here we are. True to my word, my own rules. I picked up where I left off last time. Very important that. Don't like cut chunks off. I mean, sometimes the logistics of things mean I do occasionally miss the odd half mile here or there, but it's very rare. Normally I'm quite meticulous about this sort of thing. So yeah. Yeah, I was just on that railway. Train, of course, I don't walk along railways. That's the act of a madman. Oh God, I forgot about the snake last time. Yeah, okay, let's look at my feet. So, I don't know, I did have a quick look back at that clip and I didn't actually point the camera at it, so you've only got my word that it happened at all, but I was just trying to wrap my brains and then go away and identify it afterwards, and I've since now spent the week learning in some detail that there are three common snakes in the United Kingdom. There's our nemesis, the adder. Now the adder is a brown snake, about the length of your arm, I suppose, maybe the length of your leg, about yay wide. They have a very distinctive black, they're brown, they have a very distinctive black zigzag all running along the centre of the back. They've also got red eyes, that's how you know. Then you've got the grass snake, which looks disconcertingly like the adder, similar size, dimensions and general colour, but doesn't have the big zigzaggy black stripe and doesn't have the red eyes. My important distinction. Now it's also got a sort of whitish collar around its just below the head as well, but the snake I saw, its head had vanished long before I spotted it, so all I saw was its body and back. But I don't think it had the zigzag on, so I think I was alright. I think that was a grass snake. Both varieties are quite shy. Both varieties will get the hell out if you give them a chance and if you're loud enough on your approach. So that's okay. I think you've got to be quite unlucky to actually get bitten by an adder. Unlucky or extremely provocative. And even then it's going to hurt like hell, I suspect, but probably not kill you unless you're weak already, elderly, children, heart conditions, etc. But not an experience I want to test firsthand. There's also the grass snake is a slow worm. No, slow worm is actually a kind of lizard. Smooth snake, that was the other one, and they look quite different. They're quite pale, almost yellowy, and very thin and smooth, literally smooth scale wise. I don't even think those smooth snakes are in these sort of either, so go. Panic about nothing, I suspect, but you know, treat the warning adders breed here signs with some respect. Yeah, so to Canvey Island actually, because it's got like a beach and a seaside promenade and a fun fair and things, and it's like the first time I'll feel like I'm back at the coast since Margate probably, and possibly that All Hallows caravan park thing over on the, I mean that was a bit of a struggle. I felt like they were trying quite hard but were still having to deal with the hand they were dealt, which essentially is a large muddy outflow river from a major capital city. Yeah, it'd be nice to get to an actual sport, I think, today, of sorts. Of course, the real one's Southend-on-Sea. That won't be today. That'll be the weekend after. Next weekend, in fact. Yeah, next week it'll be Benfleet to Southend-on-Sea, along with its world-renowned pier. It apparently has the longest pleasure pier in the world, 1.3 miles long. Looking forward to seeing that. I will indeed walk it. And that's actually going to be quite a short day as well. I think it's going to be 12 miles, including the pier. So, I don't know, I've lost the path. Gabbing on. Where's this go now? There, right. People do travel this way, so just follow the crushed vegetation. Some church up ahead. Nice agriculture. I haven't seen much of this. I mean, at the moment we are pretty far inland. There's about, I don't know, 5 to 10 miles worth of inland creek, and we're at the sort of top edge of. Haven't really been near the river since before the shipping container terminal place, which we'll probably see on the horizon once we cross the railway. We'll go over there. There's some sort of World War II bunker, redoubt, fortress type situation there. I guess, yeah, this being the mouth of the Thames and these being the hills which command a view of the Thames. Sorts of last resort redouts along these two banks, both north and south. I'm on the north bank now. Yeah, and in the distance I can see a big dual carriageway bridge that I think I drove over on the way to park the car. So yeah, it's all a bit retracing my own steps at the moment. It's okay. Very picturesque. Harvest's all in now. There's bales lying on the field on the far side there, so not too long ago. Yeah, September they'll be ploughing again soon, drilling and so on. Yeah, high overcast today, about 20 degrees. I don't know if this is going to clear and become appreciably sunny. Not much wind today, so I'm going to be sweating buckets. Which, once again, you are lucky that you can't smell what I'm going through at the moment. Yeah, blackberries come into bloom. I've seen quite a few people plucking away and chuffing them in carrier bags and Tupperware on the last couple of trips out, harvesting them up for jam and things. Not my kind of thing. It's basically just pips and hair mostly, wrapped in a smear of juice. Good. Sun's come out. Wind's picked up a little as well. That's good. Very welcome. Yeah, passing quite a few people on the path, out and about, joggers. Something. So yeah, I've been looking at that on the horizon, trying to work out what that is. I think it's a landfill site. I think it's Veolia or whatever they're called. Because I thought I'd have to be traipsing all around the back of that and then along the shore from the south of it. But it looks like from the map it's all private land anyway. That. So yeah. I don't know. It does look man-made, doesn't it? It's that sort of big pile of rubble on the top there. Latest layer going on, I guess. And yeah, there's a fairly substantial small forest on the northern side of it. Maybe there was an existing hill there, I don't know. Maybe that is all landfill and the forestation's going well, you know. Kind of gives me a bit of hope. I mean, if we can't, you know, not wreck the planet in the first place, at least we can put some of it back the way it was when we're done with it, you know. But I don't know. Anyway, I've been following the old yellow arrows with black acorns on, and they say this way. So I'm going to cut a big chunk of that peninsula off, essentially, and then rejoin at Benfleet near Canvey and do that instead. So there you go. I mean, I've decided the England coast path supersedes the shoreline itself. So if the coast path says to come inland, then usually it's for a good reason, and I ought to follow it, rather than, you know, scrambling across docks and sewage outfalls and quicksand. Yeah, so carrying on along here in late summer Sunday morning. We're doing 11 o'clock here. Only been going about 40 minutes. It's hard to draw any conclusions so far. Can hear the dual carriageway. Must be crossing to Benfleet fairly soon. Yeah. Passing under a big dual carriageway on stilts. Across the marsh. This is your main route on to and off of Canvey Island. I think there's only 2 bridges on and off of the thing, and I used both of them this morning. My sat nav thought it quickest to go on using this and then off again to the station. I don't argue with it, to be honest. I'm in a far too mellow state of mind at that early in the morning after a 2.5 hour drive. Good, here we are. Thames Estuary Path still. Don't know how far that will take me. Still, those are the ones I'm interested in. So yeah, this here is Canvey Island, the other side of that creek. That creek forms a kind of continuous moat around the north end of the island, making it an island. And we're going to have to basically go to the next bridge, because there's no footbridge crossing here. You can't actually get up onto it from down here. So yeah, we go to the other bridge, smaller one near the station, cross that bridge, and then we're going to have to come all the way back along and underneath that probably, and then onward. So yeah, we'll be able to see this from the other side again soon. Yeah, so this is the first easy prep stage really. The main event of today will be 12-mile round Canvey Island, which is a very large, well, I say 12 miles, so about the same size as Portland, I suppose, the Isle of Portland. So there's a village or two on there. It's quite a lot of caravan parks and holiday retirement homes. A bit of industry down the far corner opposite the container depot that you can still see. Yeah, it's doable in a day, but not an insignificant amount of land, largely flat as you can see. I don't think there's any hills on it. There's some trees it looks like, but generally it's just a very large stable piece of marsh with a beach on the south side. We'll see that as we go as well. Right, now, I don't know if you can see those masts. It's a little boatyard that they passed just next to the bridge to actually get onto the island. So we're going to cut along the left here and back following the railway more or less. And then where that hill is essentially Benfleet, and the car park is down on the right hand side at the base of it. So that's the first step, get back to the car after about an hour and a half going. Then we've got the actual rest of the proper day to do. Good. So let's keep on. Looks like low tide at the moment. Rather unsightly mud slicks, which are highly perilous to cross on foot, I'd imagine. So I'm not even going to try. Although that, what is that? A heron of some sort? Ibis? Crested grebe? I don't know. Seems to have no trouble anyway. Good. Moving on. Wow. Just like to document the most hardcore style I've ever seen in my travels. What is that? Steel? Aluminium? 5 centimetre bars. Some very heavy hinges. That's impressive. Just about fitting the gap between. Splendid. Yeah. So you get a mountain bike through there. Surreal scenes. Some sort of park, recreation ground. Covered in dogs. But that's okay, because actually this appears to be some sort of dog training day thing going on here. Lots of people shouting sit and stay over and over. There's like a little tunnel and some cones on the far side. Not sure what's going on there. Walkies training. I mean, you know, regular viewers might think I don't like dogs. Well, yeah, on the whole, because on the whole, people don't do this. These look like responsible dog owners. These look like owners who are taking the time and effort to fulfil their part of the dog owner contract, you know, namely significant and effective training. Instead of, you know, most dog walkers you see who are just like being dragged along, utterly disinterested dog doing whatever it wants, often attacking and jumping on innocent hikers. So yeah, have a dog by all means, just make sure you've trained it well. Yeah, I think they're coming up on the railway somewhere around here, in and out of these bit of scrubby marshland, wasteland, interstitial spaces. Good place for a pitch, apart from all the dogs. Hazardous area. Now, aren't they all? People drown in their own baths, you know. Ah, where did that go? That was a dark place. Let's find another acorn and follow it for a bit, quietly. That way, and sort of up a bit. Okay. Yeah, it's at the station. Runs for a long way, but yeah, certainly the railway line. Oh, I just love this marina. Marinas don't have to be Monte Carlo style. Wrecked old dinghies, shattered windows, green scum over it all. Some folks live on some of those further down. Alright, still trying to work out how to get across to Canvey. I think the bridge over there is my best bet. In fact, my only bet as far as the map's concerned. See the cars glinting along it. So, nearly done the preparatory bit. It's good, doing well. So there's the station. Car's on the other side. There's like a underpass connects to the car park on the far side. I'm going to resist the urge to go and check on it. I mean, I've only been out here like an hour and a half, so. Now, what I did want to show you was this man-made coastal defence embankment here is already on the fall. So this crumbling warped pavement with its sort of linear cracks in it. And look at these lampposts as well. They probably would have been put in when this undercut was all finished up. I've no idea how long, but they're all tipping off down as well. So this whole thing is slowly slumping down into there. I don't know how fast that is in geological terms or the terms of a human life, but yeah, nothing lasts forever. Especially not man-made things. Right, so I need to be over there and then doubling back along that hedgerow, I think, actually. I think it comes right up to the shore. It's a bit marshy. Let's go and find it. So here we go. So after Canvey Island, I carry on over there, up to Southend on the Sea, Two Tree Island, etc. But Canvey Island loop today, 13 miles, 3.5 already from Pitsea, 16 in total. Good. So we're going over there. Well, there we go, roughly midday, and here starts the Canvey Island loop. Going that way. So yeah, back here in about 5 or 6 hours, and then over there to get the car. Good. Here we go. Exciting. And I have to say, so far this is going much better than Sheppey Isle of Sheppey. Canvey Island already hasn't thrown me off. I'm not trespassing in a nature reserve. Yeah, so this is altogether more welcoming in that no one has told me to go away. So yeah, that's pretty much all I need these days. Someone to just not be telling me to go away. That's what I look for in life. So we basically have to follow this all the way back up to that other dual carriageway bridge and then under and round. And then we'll see some new things probably. Possibly. Don't know. You can still see those cranes. That's the DP World Gateway container port thing and associated oil refinery and other gubbins. I think we passed by some gubbins on this side as well. There's a tank farm on this side, I think, before you get to the seafronty bit in that kind of direction. See what we see when we get there. Just wait longer, just keep walking. Yeah, so here we are, the other side of the same dual carriageway. Good long yomp across the sea wall on the north side there. Not much to report, to be honest. Just going places in my head like I do. Looks like we go under this bit. Oh look, there we go. Oh, that's quite hard, quite easy to miss, that one. There's Wally. There you go, it's a little arrow. Good, we are on the right path. So under here, I suppose, and then carry on along the top. Wow, that looks like some low headroom. Good spot for a pitch though, although I think there are cattle in here. Yeah, these look fresh. Yeah, oh, there's a stile over there as well. Right, mind your head. Ooh. I wonder if this is made of crumbly concrete. That's the big thing in the news at the moment. History fans, future alien archaeologists. At the moment, about 100 schools have closed because it turns out they're made of something called autoclave something concrete. Essentially, they've made a kind of concrete which, on purpose, is full of bubbles. A bit like I've seen it likened by many news outlets to an aero bar. And apparently that's not a good thing to build. Well, apparently it is a good thing to build roofs and walls and ceilings out of, and floors, because it's very light. But I think if you're going to do that, you might as well just make it out of wood, because apparently it's only got a lifespan of 30 years. And who knew we'd still be using the same hospitals and schools in 30 years' time? Not people 30 years ago, clearly. So yes, lots of kids looking forward to homeschooling or studying in porter cabins for the foreseeable. Whilst the government scrambles to sort it all out. I don't know. Does seem like an avoidable error to me, but I don't know the construction techniques or industry well enough. So there you go. Let's get on with it. Onto the marshes. So this sort of zigzags back down to almost down to there, I think. Sort of basically across the channel from the cranes and stuff. Then we swing left and start going properly down Thames again. We should reach the Thames in about an hour or so. Be nice to see the old river again, see how it's getting on. It's been a week. But I mean, looking at the map, I think this here massive landscape I've had to essentially cross all the way around the back of and come down through from here is the last big detour off of the Thames until Shoebury Ness now. So I think once we deal with Canvey Island and head back to Southend, we'll basically be following the Thames down to its mouth, to the North Sea. There's not much more of it left either at that point. Another day or two's worth from here. And then we're back on the coast, opposite Margate, ready to head north. Exciting. It is quite exciting actually. I do have a cork board in my study with a big sort of. It was essentially a piece of wrapping paper, stylised, that I got from the bookshop, and stylised in a sort of United Kingdom map from the 30s or 40s. Yeah, I mean Ireland is marked as the Irish Free State, so I mean it's possibly not a highly accurate map navigational tool, but it was the right sort of size to fit on my notice board, and I couldn't find most proper maps I looked at were like enormous, like schoolroom stuff that would take a whole wall. I found one the right kind of size. Now I am putting pins in it, and it is letting me see, kind of in a sort of abstract way, what I've done, and I've done a lot, and that's good. I mean, arguably I haven't done it in one go. I think there are people out there who just, hang up their careers for a couple of years and just put a backpack on and become tramps, go and do the Salt Path and stuff like that. Let's buy and read that. Apparently it's a touching tale of the Southwest Coast Path as conquered by a couple, one of whom got a diagnosis of some sort of cancer, and so they decided to quit their day-to-day lives and completely embrace the Southwest Coast Path. And so it's probably poignant and touching. I don't think anything about my trip around the Southwest Coast Path was poignant and touching. But there you go. But yeah, I'm a lot of rambling now. While rambling. I've lost track of my thread, yeah. I've done quite a lot of miles walking, is basically what I'm saying. So there, go me, congratulations, etc. I've got a lot more miles walking ahead of me than behind, certainly, so I shouldn't get too self-congratulatory. I mean, at a conservative estimate, I've probably got about another 3,000 or 4,000 miles to go. And that's before you even take Scotland into it all. I am seriously leaning at this point. I mean, obviously, ask me again in about 4 or 5 years' time. But At this point I'm leaning to a strict interpretation of the England coast path, which means no Scotland and indeed no Wales either. I'm thinking of Hadrian's Way across the top to connect the two and not doing Scotland. And then I'm also thinking of Offa's Dyke path as well. To basically come straight down from Liverpool and pick it up again at Chepstow and the Severn, cutting off the Welsh coast path, which is its own special thing. Mostly the rationale is, if I do it this way, I stand a chance of actually finishing the England coast path in a reasonable lifetime and a reasonable state of health. Whereas if I try and do Scotland, I'll probably die out there. Not in the dramatic I'm going to die on a moor somewhere sense, but I mean in the sense that it will probably take me longer than my reasonably foreseeable life expectancy to actually finish the Scotland coast path at the rate I'm doing. There is no such thing as the Scotland coast path, which is why it's going to be such a pain in the arse. The Welsh coast path, I'd love to do that one, but I think I might do that after I finish the England coast path, you know? Just pick it up again and carry on. So that's the idea anyway. That's where my head is at the moment. But as I say, there's a long way in distance and time between here and Berwick on Pond Tweed, somewhere in that direction, about 1,500 miles of zigzaggy coast path and fens. So we shall see. But no, I mean, I'm just inclined to. I mean, the England coast path is what I want to do, certainly. But if I limit it to that, I stand a chance of completing it in a reasonable fashion. And then, yeah, if when I do that, I'm fit and still keen and still up for it, I can just go up to Liverpool and pick up the Welsh path and tick that off, and then maybe think about the Scotland path. Although I suppose arguably by that stage in my life, the odds of me finishing Scottish coast are even slimmer and slimmer as I get older. So maybe I just won't do the Scottish coast, because ultimately, what? Finish the Great Britain, and then what? Sit there and fret and twitch until I go off and try and circumnavigate the entire island of Ireland, you know? And then what? Off to France, do Eurasia in one go? I don't know. There has to be a limit to this madness somewhere, surely. Anyway, it seems to me the England coast path, which, you know, is getting more and more signposted as every year goes on, more and more identifiable, more doable as the years go on, seems like a reasonable endeavour. And then after that, we'll worry about after that, you know. Anyway, who knows? I don't know. It's like, at least, I mean, my current scheduling, remember, once I get past the end of Malden for my September week, I'm basically too far away to do this kind of summer day tripping. So my progress is going to slow considerably from this year onwards, because I'm just not going to be able to get to the path where I left off, do a day's hiking and get home again in the same day. It's just going to be impossible. It's 5 hours of driving today, and it's, you know, summer, so I've got daylight, but I got up at 7 this morning. I don't expect to be home till about 9 probably. It's a whole day. And yeah, we're still only about probably maybe 100 miles from where I live. Not vast distances. Just taking advantage of this part of the world being close to where I live, relatively speaking. So yeah, I'm increasingly thinking just doing the England coast, because after this September, I'm basically back down to doing essentially 200 miles a year. So I reckon it's probably not going to be until about 2026, maybe. It's about 3 or 4 years away, Berwick on Tweed, at my current estimation. And then, you know, a similar kind of distance. Hadrian's Way is 80 miles or so. I could do that in a week, but it's still half of a year effectively in Tim holidaying time. And then, yeah, similar distances back down again. I think probably 2030, maybe. Hang on, is that right? No. That's I think 2035 probably. I haven't measured it out yet. Yeah, so it's quite a way away, let's put it that way. So, yeah, I got about 3 years to nail down my plans. Anyway, I think I'm possibly thinking a little bit too far ahead for today. So let's just put the camera away and walk some more. Yeah, working our way down the eastern side of the island now. See that water zooming through there. Tide coming in. Yeah, that's the big Veolia. I never know how to pronounce that. I should read the letters more carefully. Yeah, landfill. Yeah, I thought I'd cut through all there, but it seems like it's all private, so here I am. That's good. I mean, I was actually looking for somewhere along here to be the first night's pitch on my September week when I was originally going to be starting in Tilbury, and now I look in the distance at where Tilbury might be, I realise that I'd accidentally planned for myself a 26-mile first day with travel, so that's, I think I've saved myself from myself there again a bit. Turns out I'm only really rated for about 20 miles a day at present. Less than that if I can help it. Whew. Say about 16, 17 or so is comfortable for me at least, this stage of my life and my fitness. Whew. Oh, let's do one of these slow pans that I don't do enough of. Here we go. There we go. See, I thought of 3 different things I was going to gab on at you during that pan, but I shan't, so, you know. I think it's congenital. I think it's because I just spend large amounts of time on my own in the wilderness, you know. I don't think that's healthy for anyone, really. Got to talk to someone. Might as well be you. Right, okay, following around. Yeah, I don't know how close we get to the cranes and stack from this side. We'll find out if we keep walking, obviously. Ah, no, we will come to the other side of that weird 60s blockhouse that we ended up getting really close to last time. I think we've basically come to a small link road the other side on here. So we'll have to see what we get to see when we come to that part. Looking at the map, it does look like the ECP does pretty tightly circumscribe the edge of Canvey Island. There's no like massive chunks missing, or you know, now we go and walk through an industrial estate because we've got no shoreline access. I think we have got access to the whole thing. I think this might turn out to be a bit like Portland, in that it makes an excellent microcosmic day trip of its own. You know, you could drive down here, park at Benfleet like I've done, and just walk out and do the loop. The loop itself's 13 miles, which is relatively comfortable for anyone who's done a reasonable bit of hiking in the day. And you get, well, we'll see. I imagine you get a fairly representative microcosmic sampling of the Thames estuary by going around here. The Canvey Island Seafront's got a little fun fair and beach and ice creams and stuff, which I think represents Margate and Southend and such like. There's a terminal oil refinery thing on the corner at this end here, which I think represents this kind of stuff. And there's lots of this low-lying tidal fen stuff, which again is representative of quite a lot of the rest of it. So I think, yeah, I have to put together a little list of day trips I'd recommend if you want to sample the coast path without having to do the coast path, you know. And I'd recommend Portland near Weymouth and Dorset. That is an excellent microcosm of Dorset, and it feels very Cornish as well in some respects. And then, yeah, here we are in what I imagine will be an excellent representation of the southeast of the coast, southeast England. Yeah, good. Right, let's keep moving. Days are wasting. Right, I can't promise my zoom's going to actually point at the thing I intend, but here we go. So, yeah, there's your blockhouse. And we went right up to the other side of that wall there, coming up the other way last time. And snakes were somewhere over there. That's the main creek. This must be a side tributary, but this then coincidentally becomes Canvey Island's perimeter as well. So yeah, I guess we're passing to the left of that stuff, or to the right of that stuff, but left of the creek. Who knows? So keep walking, we'll find out. I don't know if anybody's in that porter cabin. I mean, this was pretty much going to be my pitch for the first night of my week, but as I say, I'm stealing days, so don't have to worry about that at the moment. Danger, keep out. But yeah, just tucked away in the corner there. That wouldn't have been trouble for anyone, unless of course somebody actually lives in there, or there's cameras pointing this way, in which case I probably would have gotten a visit very late at night by a 4x4 and an angry looking man in a navy sweatshirt. But yeah, oh that's, yeah, because I was thinking of coming along this, I thought this was the path, but obviously yeah, that's a go away fence. It does continue the other side, but as I say, that's all no go. Not for anything sinister, I don't think it's a firing range or anything, I think it's just landfill. Right, okay, good, so let's carry on. Getting a sense of achievement rumbling along, just a small one, you know, quiet, personal, but it's good. Yeah, 1:30, had a good stomp there. Made some good distance down creek. Pretty much opposite all this now, so I thought I'd stop and drink in the splendour of man's industrial prowess. That's all shipping, loading, container port at the back. This nearer here is a different facility basically, although, you know, still similarly unpleasant to look at. So they've perched it on the same old headland. Yeah, so to me this all looks mostly storage. It's hard to say any actual refining is going on. There's a chimney there, maybe they would have done a little bit of refinery at some point, but it doesn't look like a large throughput type terminal. This is mostly storage and decanting, I think. Offload from the boat into the tanks, and then, I don't know, lorries pick it up, take it somewhere else. Hard to tell what it is. I mean, there's only, I've seen one ball there, another ball over there. Balls being a better design for only contents under pressure, less weak points. Corners are weak points, basically. That's why you don't put liquid petroleum gas in a box. A drum, generally a sphere if you can. The drums, I guess the drums are just liquid but not under pressure. Possibly petrol, maybe diesel, I don't know. There's always no way to tell from the outside. I guess, yeah, like I say, I think the round drums are not pressurised. I don't know, you could probably look it all up on Wikipedia anyway. Oh, look, speedboat. Oh, jet ski too. I'm gonna flagrantly point my camera at them in the hope of provoking them into doing stunts, or at least waving. Yeah, I'm filming you. No release form or anything. Who knows what will happen here. A lot of birds being disturbed anyway. See, most of the birds seem not to care either. Alright, here we go. Yeah, do your thing. Oh, I need to zoom a little bit. Yeah, jump that bow wave. Highway to the danger zone. Right. See, I don't know what's going on here. That pipe work seems to connect both sides. Obviously, again, not a bridge. But, yeah, I mean, it goes quite high at the end there, so presumably the main channel, you can just sail your boat mostly underneath it. Yeah. So does that mean the tanks on this side, which I will pass, those white ones in the distance, look like they're on this side of the road because it bends and turns right. Are they connected to this facility? Is it all part of the same thing? They ran out of marsh to build refineries on? Who knows? Yeah, anyway, still some more way to go. I think once we get down the end, we go around the corner by all those tanks, and then it sort of, after a bit, turns into a kind of seafronty, static caravan-y type merry-go-round ice cream beach type place. I'm looking forward to that. Going to get at least one ice cream in today. I mean, this is September. It's still about 20 odd degrees. Couldn't tell you the precise temperature, that's on a different screen. But yeah, 2022, something like that. A high haze. I've got the sunblock on, because you can never be too careful. Yeah, it's quite pleasant. It definitely feels like summer still. It's nice. But not that sort of baking summer that we've been terrified of mid-year. We missed most of that in this country. It all got suddenly cold and rainy whilst most of Europe was trying to deal with 45-degree plus bushfires. Greece got it bad. Quite a lot of it on fire. So yeah, I'm hoping for a good, well, I mean, it's only a fortnight away now. Yeah, 3 weeks time I'm going to be out. 3 weeks, 1 week? I don't know. 2 weeks? a number of weeks' time, I'm going to be out hiking and camping and all this, so hopefully it doesn't change on me too badly. This is why I pick these times of year. Generally they're quite mild, generally they're not too rainy, generally the temperature's good, May and September. Right, I'll just sit here for a bit, try and get some rest in that I don't normally bother with. Just staring at this immensity. Some water as well. Yeah, looking forward to getting down to the end, eh? Get back on the Thames proper. Get to see across to Isle of Sheppey and Isle of Grain, definitely. I think we must be level with there really by now. Somewhere along there, Grain Peninsula. Yeah. Just startled another snake. I think this one was an adder. Didn't have a zigzag on the back. It's about the thickness of my finger, quite a thin one. It's about 2 feet away, slithered off sideways. That was me, you know, head down, mindlessly trumping along. I mean, I'm convinced this is the path, but people seem to be going along the lower road down there. Oh, it's another foil balloon, god damn it. Yeah, so perhaps I ought to go down onto the wider path there where there's less chance of me standing on a poisonous snake. No, not poisonous, venomous. Fine distinction. I don't know, I mean, if you eat an adder, do you get sick? Perhaps they're poisonous as well. Oh yes, I think I might detour down there. Grab this balloon first. Find a bin for it. Yeah, so definitely, I think it was an adder. It might have been a grass snake, but I don't know. It did look like it had a zigzag on its back. Oh, it looks a bit nettly. It's going to be a both hands job. Right. Bit of abandoned something or other. Oh yeah, that's me. Good. I wonder about the wisdom of wild camping somewhere where you know there are adders. And can they do zips? They like to just bite my arse through the tent canvas. I don't know, I think they're more afraid of me than I am of them, which is saying something, because I'm quite afraid of adders at this point. I don't know if that was an adder. It sort of had a zigzag pattern on the back, but it didn't look black, it looked dark brown, light brown zigzags, so now I'm confused. They should be labelled, they should have licence plates. Oh, I want to see you. Good. Carrying along here, making lots of stamping noises as I go. Quite looking forward to getting to some sort of, you know, riverside green with an ice cream van and some very short mown grass. Now let's see. Yeah, better angle here. It doesn't actually go all the way across. It leaves a small gap channel there. Goes out to a pontoon quite far out, almost on the other side, to be honest. Presumably, I don't know, it looks quite rusty. I'll get a bit closer and have a proper look. It's got handrails all along the top though, which suggests it's traversable. It's probably a really bad idea. Yeah, a couple of boats moored along the side here, fishing or whatever. So yeah, we are definitely on the other side of the creek then. Quite hazy, quite a lot of haze on the water. It's quite hard to see the far bank in any detail. That's the Thames though, the Thames proper. We're coming out of it. I don't even know what this creek's name is. I think it has one, but I'll have to look it up. Kind of more preoccupied by what's the average density of adders. Typical range, you know, is it one per square mile, or are we talking, you know, we should not meet again, Dr. Jones, and into the tomb, and then that's that stuff coming out the walls. I think I might be needlessly working myself up. Oh, it's fine. I've met 2 snakes on this path now, and both were very polite, so I shan't worry about it. Shall continue to make a loud galumphing and let them get out of the way. Neither of us wants any trouble. Oh, there's a car. Looks in some sort of road nearby. Screwfix. Okay, some sort of out-of-town industrial park by the looks of things. Civilization beckons. Here we go. Fascinated to see what the deal is with this big gantry thing. Looks abandoned. Looks It looks like the sort of thing that's just too expensive to remove rather than just leave, you know, let it collapse and be someone else's problem. It'll probably be an artificial reef in about 50 years' time. That's what they call it when they can't be bothered to pick up a shipwreck, dispose of it properly. Yeah, whatever that was for, it's not there now. Not doing nothing now, no access onto it. Just a load of metal work hanging there. Quite large amount of stuff. Probably very expensive to dismantle it and take it away and scrap it, I guess. Eat it. Seems a shame. Ideal sort of thing for urban adventuring on though. Is it urban adventuring, urban archaeology? I don't know. The one where people basically break into abandoned building sites and ruins and stuff and poke about, put it on Insta. It's a challenge and a half. I was involved in getting on that in the first place. I need some sort of grappling hook type rope ladder arrangement to get started, I think. And then who knows what state that walkway's in, if walkway it even is. You'd be better off just paddling out to the far end and clambering on at that end, I think. Still, not me, I'm going that way. So we're going to get to the end and turn the corner soon. I'm going to have a different vista, although I think we do have a bit of a refinery to tread through first. C'est la vie. So, turning the corner, I see a pub. I'll pop down there for a lemonade and some crisps. Yes, that's the Makey Bee. Registered under a flag I don't recognise. 4.5 metres draft, on its way from GB Bell, not quite sure where that is, to GB Dag, which I think is Dagenham, a bit further beyond that way. General cargo, underway, as we can see. Ooh, sounds like a beach or something. That's small children shouting. Yeah, that's a lot of umbrellas for a back garden. I think I might pop down there and investigate that further. Probably this white building here. Good. It's about 2 o'clock. Could do with a snack and a drink. Excellent. I'll save big dinners for the way home, I think. Odd little place. The Lobster Smack. Quite family friendly, unfortunately. And this little tiny group of houses and chalets, and then boom, oil refinery. I'm hoping I got a way through. I mean, the path said that I can get all the way around. There's actually a gate or something. Guess we'll see if we keep walking. Just have a quick peek over there. Yeah, looking like high tide. Not got any big container stuff. Oil tankers disgorging, so all quiet. Right. Yeah, so despite that strange pub in the middle of, on the tip of the peninsula there, we've still got a bit of way to go before we get to the proper beach stuff. But I'm suitably refreshed and ready to carry on. Let's see what this oil refinery has to... oil refinery, I keep calling them refineries. Probably just a terminal. Is that the word? Who knows? Ah, there we go, back to the aluminium fencing with spikes on top. Familiar countryside. I think we go under, do we? Who knows? So much empty space and ruined buildings in there. I can hear noises. I've seen people walking around in boiler suits and hard hats in the distance. It is functioning after a fashion. I don't know what this part is. There's a whole load of low walls in the middle that are no longer standing. Was it a refinery once? Is it now just storage? Is it cheaper to refine elsewhere? Transport it here to store? I don't know. This office block's seen some better days. Yeah, don't know. Whole history of industrial archaeology and heritage here that I'm unaware of. Which is okay, I guess. Can't know everything. See, this stuff all seems in reasonable repair, and the tanks and pipes, but yeah, don't know what went on in the middle. Something they no longer do, I suppose. Right. Oh, more spiky aluminium. Wow. This one looks a bit more elaborate. Got some more snaky pipes and tubes and things going everywhere. Almost certainly mix things together. So it's colour on the side, camping gas bottles, that sort of thing, I guess. Who knows? Fantastic 60s looking building on the front there, 50s even. Been here a while, I'd say. Yeah, and it goes all the way out to that elaborate construction over there. I think it's just an articulated suck arm for when boats dock up against it, I suppose. Yeah. I think we're probably cutting under again, are we? Hope so. Yeah, great location scout for some sort of period piece about the excesses of the 1950s. I don't know. What am I talking about? Oh, right, so I think beyond here it does start to get a bit more promenade-y, a bit more seafronty, but we'll see, I'll see. Not quite sure how far around I've come. Yeah, there you go, that looks like a passage underneath. Good. There we go. A sea of static caravans as far as the mind can imagine. Welcome to Canvey Island. Actually, it does look like there's some proper houses in the background. Right, well, here we are on the Thames, and it might as well be the North Sea for all I can see looking at out there. Seems to be pretty high tide at the moment. And I can't really make out the far bank, it's very hazy and we're looking into the sun, so I can't even tell what might be Isle of Grain, what might be Sheppey, Medway, Rochester somewhere back there, I don't know. Just a distant mythical haze. Distant Avalon, land of Arthur, Camelot, etc. No, I can't make out any features over there, it's just a sort of vague silhouette. Keep aiming high as well. There we go. Oh, it's a lovely view though. Sparkling. Might as well be the sea, it's definitely salty there. Well, it's been saline all the way up to up to Westminster, I think. But yeah, this does feel like the sea. We'll go around and see more of it as we go, of course. Yeah. Cool. Magnificent. No, I've even got a little step I can walk on so I can still see over the top. Now, see the evolution of the static caravan to a more advanced form here. Basically homes, bungalows. Wow, this one's had a lot of work done. It's like Shangri-La. Now, I'm concerned about this. What's going on over there? What do your elven eyes see? Zoom times 10. Some sort of large sea wall? There. We walk along there on top, this side, that side. It's a mystery. Maybe they're just trying to debrutalize the standard concrete attachment to the shoreline that is in place here. I'm trying to eyeball it. I think probably that caravan park is below sea level, yeah. At present. High tide, it does look like it's slightly higher than the grass there. Probably that means this is all rather necessary. Fair enough. I suppose, yeah, why not paint it bright blue? Takes the Soviet edge off it. Let's go and have a look. Just had a thought. Yeah. Try a dangerous lean it over the edge manoeuvre. Yeah. This wall's blue too. Just only on the outside. That's odd. Why not paint the inside as well? Something curious going on here, which I am not going to get to the bottom of. Good. Ah, I see. It's a beach. Right. See, this is a good example of doing a lot with a little, I think. Just a slap of blue paint and suddenly you're in the Mediterranean. Capri or Côte d'Azur. And there's a palm trees in tubs along the far wall there as well. I don't know if there's any down here. Doesn't look like it. A bit less tidal over there probably. Oh, why not? Take the edge off your beach holiday if you look left and right and see Soviet concrete everywhere. Splash of paint makes all the difference. Right, okay, so I need to go around this inlet and out down that corner there, I think. Probably next. Trying to avoid going on the sand. That sand looks imported, frankly. Mind you, I did find a natural beach on the other side, so I guess sand can collect on the Thames estuary, but I suspect that's probably imported. Still, why not? Love it. Lovely day by the seaside. Somewhat let down by the submerged bathing hazard that's chain linked off. Oh well, just go around it, it's fine. Here we go. Proper seafront. You might be anywhere on the south coast. There's a Hailing Island feel to it. Dorset, maybe. And fun fair rides. I might be able to find an ice cream here. Kind of mood for a whippy one, not just the usual Magnum, you know, with the flake in it and all that. I may not be disappointed. Good. Let's follow this along. See where we end up. Have to reach the far end and start turning around at some point. No idea who's at that bandstand in the middle there. We can just see behind the tree, but a lot of people have bought tents and chairs and are waiting patiently to see them. Something else I'll have to look up. No time for me. I've got to keep moving. Mission accomplished. Yeah, old little place. It's like a beach hut thing there, but no actual beach. It's all like concrete sea defence. So people enjoy anything. It's great. Turning the beach to have a beach holiday. Right, back up here and away after having my ice cream. Potentially more impressive at low tide. Yeah, so that was Concord, well, beach, I guess. Probably is at low tide. But I mean, you walk along here, you can see. You can just see. I don't know if you can see on watching this, but certainly I'm seeing visually quite clear that the sea here is actually about a metre higher than the road down there. So yeah, the seawall wasn't here. Neither was any of that. So yeah, just goes to show. I think this is probably a very high tide at present. Doubt it comes much higher than this, except on weird lunar events and stuff. Asteroid impact tsunamis and such like. Still can't make out what any of that on the far side is. I think it might all be Sheppey. Sheppey was quite big. It was going to take me 2 days to get around it. It might all be the same part. But yeah, sort of a low haze on the water there. Hard to make stuff out. Not important. Been there, done it all. So, you know, apart from Sheppey, obviously, which I didn't do. So I don't care. Don't want to see Sheppey. No, bugger off. We're going that way. To the North Sea and beyond. Thirsty now. No, that doesn't look good. Footpath closed signs, chain link fencing panels again. I have to consider alternative routing. Hoping there's a diversion arrow when we get there. Doing a bit of a gamble at the moment. The pedestrian detour things had to go off into that estate and cut the entire end of the island off, but I think maybe there'll be a way around at the end. If not, I can always cut left anyway and find my way through, I think. Yeah, because I'm so good at improvising alternatives. Let's see where this goes anyway. If not, I'll just have to double back and try one of these side roads. Thought I saw Southend-on-Sea in the distance, but I have to get right on the end to have a look. Which is up ahead. Well, guess that's as close as I'm going to get. Try down there and see if I can cut to the right and rejoin the wall when the works are finished. And come to the end of them. What are they doing? Maintenance, I suppose. So, having seen how high the sea does go relative to the land here, then I guess that does need to be continually looked after. That's really signs up explaining what they're doing. B-17 Memorial Ground. 1944 B-17 aircraft collision. God. Let's keep moving. I wonder if these apple trees are good for eating, whether they're crab apples or flaking apples or whatever. Hard to tell. Anyway, here's a path, a gap, and there's the wall. And the end of the building works. So I think we're good. Back on track. Yeah. Sometimes we're so sort of twisted in the apples we're used to in supermarkets. Genetically engineered, bizarre, super sugary ones. That all these whole loads of ancient English varieties have just disappeared. Find them in, like, you know, rough ground and hedges and margins where there used to be orchards and farms. Ugh. Right, so up on top of there, and then we should have a good old view of something or other. And we'll have defeated the roadworks, wallworks, whatever. I know I've timed this filming part quite badly now. You've got to sort of sit there while I cross this field laboriously. I mean, I could stop it and restart it when I get to the top, but then that's like so much faff. It'd be like a minute if best. Just have to bear with me. I'm doing it. Getting up there. Hang on. Have a look at some chain link fencing whilst I climb. Yeah, you reckon? Good, here we are. Oh, look, sailing boats. Actually, this wall's quite high. No step. Yeah, some sort of little marina here. Now, you can't tell me that's not the sea for all intents and purposes. Basically, I mean, the mouth of the Thames widens up really quite a lot past Sheppey, so we probably won't see Whitstable from the north side. And that is, well, a variety of Southend-on-Seas. Quite a big, long, highly populous coast. Very reminiscent of Bournemouth. Similar sort of thing. And then down the end is Shoeburyness, which I'm not sure you can even make out very faintly. Faint white buildings. And then beyond that, nothing. Till like Sweden or Denmark or something. And I turn left. And for now, though, I am turning left. I'm heading north. We're going to do the western edge of Canvey, and then we've got to loop back, double back to the left, and go west again. This is the eastern edge. So I was on the western edge on that end. Oh, I don't know. I've got my whole day upside down. Got to have to go back and refilm that bit. That was like 4 hours ago. Okay, yeah. So following the around the end and then looping back to Benfleet. Splendid. It's always nice to see the sea. And a calming, reassuring influence. So this is the eastern end. Is it east? It's definitely east, yes. Eastern end of Canvey. It's mostly yacht clubs, looks of things, moorings, marinas and such. And as close as anything is the North Sea. Why not? Yeah, let's call it that. Yeah, so there's a footpath out there, but that's not the path I need. I think it just goes out a little bit and then comes back. It's fine. So yeah, back that way. I think we might end up coming out onto that one there, just over the side. It's like a cut here. But then yeah, start looping back westwards towards the bridge. What are we doing? It's 4:15. So yeah, another 2 hours I think is about right. And then we'll worry about Southend next week. All that over on the far side there. It's going to be a short one next week. It's only like 8 miles, including the pier, so you know that's okay. It's okay to finish a season off on a short one. Ready for the big hike after that. Yeah, I question the seaworthiness of some of these. I see you. Yes, you. Alright, so this apparently is the Canvey Heights Country Park. So we're basically heading right and going around another peninsula headland and then coming back along the north. I think. Yes, you. I don't think you can hide behind that grass. And you're in close path. Good. It's always reassuring to see an acorn. Plaintiff will be prosecuted, we will see. Offenders £50,000 and or 6 months imprisonment. I should be the judge of how effective that is. I mean, there's literally, that's just standard everyday unpleasantness. We shall see about the fly tipping situation. To be honest, I haven't actually seen any today, so maybe it works. There we are, staring out on the eastern end of Canvey. Southend on Sea over there. Yeah. This would be a lovely place for a bench, but there isn't one, so I'm just going to have to sit on the ground and risk adders, I suppose. Just keep singing a very loud song or something. Prevent the curiosity. Oh, I could do with a drink though. A bit of a swig. Yeah, it is. Relatively stable. Yeah, sit here for a bit. Yeah, good. I really enjoyed today actually. Felt like I've been back at the coast again for, the first time in a very long time actually. Whitstable, I guess. The last proper seaside town I've seen, I think, before this. Margate maybe, but I don't really remember much about that because it was blowing a gale and I was a bit preoccupied. But yeah, this is nice and it's only going to get better. I mean, that is basically a kind of, well, I don't know, you might call Bournemouth an imitation of Southend-on-Sea, I suppose. Southend's a very popular London hub. I mean, if you're in London, you want to go to the beach, you either go to Brighton or you come here. Go there. So I suspect there's going to be a bit of a brash seafront type town. A lot of long promenade pavements, but that's okay. I like a bit of that. Yeah, so we just need to get down there, around the corner, and then back up to the bridge and back to the car. Good. Right, I'm going to have a bit of a sit down and have a bit of a rest, and then carry on. Very nice day. Very enjoyable. Everything's sort of going right, Well, that's quite an arresting sight. I mean, the regulation spiky aluminium fence, obviously, but it's just static caravans to the horizon. And a very high security fence for some reason. They don't want me in there for some reason, I don't know. I'm just walking, doing my thing. Let's look at this side instead. This is the landward moat, I suppose, border, boundary, creek. Very high tide at present, you can see. Most of the greenery is wallowing in it, right up to the edge. Yeah, that narrows further up to the bridge at Ben Fleet. You can sort of see I think that's the lefternmost of the range of hills at the back there is Ben Fleet. That's me for the day then, once I get there. This all seems pretty uncontroversial. Straightforward gravel path all the way along this concretey wall. Yeah, not long to go now. It's nice to get away from it all, isn't it? I don't know, I can't speak. My holiday predilections tend in a different direction. Vagrancy in hedgerows, Yeah, this is good. Good day. Feeling a bit tired now, but that's mostly because I've done it again and essentially done a straightforward complete walk since 10 o'clock without really stopping much. That's what I do, I guess. I'll be all right. Get to sit around in the car for 2.5 hours. And a hot soak when I get home. It's good. Yeah, we're going to do all of that next week. As far as I can tell, the path basically just follows this shoreline all the way up to Southend. And there's going to be a shorter day stage than most. It's good. Blimey, this really is the express route straight back to the car. Oh, yeah, I see you. Yeah, just a featureless level flat path that leads directly towards the car for the next 3-4 miles. I'm not complaining. Glad I didn't go the other way around though. Tackling this bit first would have been a bit grim. It's so boring. I have to go places in my head. Just stare at the sea every now and then, which remains beautiful. One of the principal problems here is that all the houses need to be 2.5 stories tall if you're to get a view over the wall. Oh well. First world problems. There's some sort of castle over there, Martello Town. I expect we'll see up close next week. Right, can we follow around to the end of there? Possibly. See what the signs say when we get to the corner. Hello gang, a golf course. Haven't seen any of those in a while actually. This might be the only one on Canvey. Quite quiet. 2 people just sat on one of the greens. Why not? Nice place for a picnic. I approve. Yeah, got a lot of bikes coming up and down here. Trying to dive out the way when I can. Like training a bird dog over there. I think there's a little whistle, throwing the floaty thing in the water. Don't mind dogs being trained, that's good. That's a nice view. Nice wind too. Oh, was I just over there on that far horizon? Yeah. Time flies when you head down and trudge. Not far to go now then, I'd conservatively estimate another 2 miles maybe. You can see the masts from the boatyard next to the bridge, so yeah. Just coast on home. It's good. It's nice, I've enjoyed it. I recommend Canvey to anyone who wants to do a small piece of coast path, a day trip thing. If you live in this neck of the woods, pick a nice day, well worth the effort. Mind you, it's that sort of time of day. The longer shadows and the yellow light. What time is it yet? 20 to 5, yes, I'm entering the golden hour. Which is an odd phrase, it means different things to different people. Golden hour for photography, I think, is sunrise, but you know, for me, for hiking, this is the time of day I like the best. Still warm, but the sun's not quite such a hammer. The winds are typically lighter and warmer. This time of day, calm descends on nature. I've usually got that good all-day ache settling into a comfortable glow, and yet I haven't pushed myself so hard that it hurts yet. So you know, yeah, I love it. And this is great. I think I've decided high tide is my favourite tide. I didn't have a favourite tide until today, but you know, when you see all those creeks and rivers at low tide with their ghastly expanses of slick, rotting, smelly mud, and then you contrast it with this, which is basically that same ghastly expanse of slick, smelly mud, but made beautiful by submersion. And just the bits of grass waving gently in the wallow. Yeah, green and blue, no unsightly browns in sight. Yeah, good. Alright, let's keep walking, I suppose. That's what I do, really. I mean, you know, there's walk or not walk. I think I might walk. Hello, Mr. Butterfly. Am I scaring you the hell out of the way where you're going? Yeah, if I go round, you can probably calm down and stop for a bit. No? There you go. No, let's stop. Maybe they can't. It's like, you know, the whole year spent pent up as a caterpillar, and you get your 2 weeks in the sun. Go for it. Don't stop flying. Yeah, okay. Getting a bit bored of this one now. Still, I mean, yeah, it could only be improved in terms of distance and speed wise by a smooth coating of asphalt. Really do need to go somewhere in my head, I think. I go back to Cornwall. The Minnock Theatre. Some of the most ridiculous steps I've ever come across on this path. I nearly died several times there. That was definitely a two-hands moment. I don't know if I filmed it, but glad to be down and safe from that one. Yeah. And yeah, here we are. And at the time, and also around Morwenstow, sort of on the Heartland Point day, coming back down south from Heartland Point towards Bude, I had my heel blister, and I had to do 10. I think I counted them. There were about 10 valleys that I had to descend and then climb the far side of because of little rivers and things. All of them about 200 metres or 200 or 300 metres. And I remember at the time consoling myself with the thought that I'll get to somewhere like, well, this, and look back fondly and laugh on that stuff. And I sort of am, yeah. So there we go. Contrasts. Wish I could teleport, you know, just like Stars My Destination, Alfred Bester. Basically the whole human race wakes up one day and suddenly discovers that they have the ability to teleport 1,000 miles at a time just by the thought of their own mind. You can just do it anyway. You can clearly visualise, and I just sort of blip around the coast doing different stages. They're completely out of sequence, you know. Well, I'll get a good side profile of that thing now. There's definitely a castle of some sort. You can't see because you're on 0.6. Hang on. Let's hazard a zoom. Well, that's 20 times. I have no idea if that's in shot or not. Definitely a castle of the round variety. Norman or Saxon or something. A ruined bit of side building there as well. Something on that end. Possibly an abbey. Don't know. We'll probably find out more next time because I have to go past the base of that. Down by where the railway pylons are, I think. Yeah. Ah, yeah, still here. This is golf course. Golf course has taken an unreasonable amount of time to circumnavigate in my experience. I'm reminded of that day down at Deal near Sandwich there. Like 3 golf courses in a row and had to go around all of them. That was quite a day, quite a long one. Just mix things up, you know, more scenery, different variety. There's more windmills and pagodas on the greens, that kind of thing. Sort of macro scale crazy golf. Gives passerby something interesting to look at. Right, okay, so I reckon, yeah, I can see flashes of cars going up to the bridge. So I think probably just down to this scrubland here and then some sort of right turn. And we'll put us on the road back off the island. Doing well. 5 o'clock, probably done by 5:30 then, I think. That's just good, yeah, excellent. Oh, and suddenly, this looks familiar. Aha, it's the road off, and I've already done all of that. Good, so just over there, across the bridge, and then we're pretty much done. Yeah, seaworthiness. Right, yes, oh, that's been a fantastic day, it really has. It's made my high point of my summer, really. This and similar other day trips. But this one's been nice. This one I've enjoyed a lot. I think it's just because we're getting back to the sea again, which is, you know, one of the principal drivers for me doing all this stuff in the first place. Coast path. Can I smell salt? Maybe I'm imagining it. Psychosomatic seaside smells. Sounds like a Prodigy lyric. Right, okay, good. So let's just tromp along that bridge. And I'll do another little bit to the camera. Make a sort of goodbye thing like I'm a proper documentarian. and then I'm going to go find my car and go home. Well, here we go. Press pause for more information. Oh no, there's some oh dear, no, quite abusive graffiti on there. Let's keep moving. You can press pause and read it all if you like. I'm not going to involve my mind with that filth. And here we are, just a little bit after 5. Back at the loop. So that's that all done. Next stop, Two Tree Island, but that'll be next week. So yeah, there we go. Oh, beautiful. Right, I'm going to say goodbye then. Ta-da. And thanks for watching and all that sort of things. I do feel like I take you guys for granted sometimes, and I don't mean to. Right, yeah, join me next week and we'll go that way and we'll go and see Southend-on-Sea, and we'll see the longest pleasure pier in the world. Potentially the world. I think it might be the world, it might be Europe, I don't know. Certainly the longest one in the country. I'm looking forward to it because I love a pier. So, see you next time.